Hi, okay, so it begins. I don't know what I'm doing, and this is going to be hopefully my first voice segment on YouTube, and I can already tell this is not going to go well. Hold up. So, location B advised, I am in New York, and I hope to make a few connections from tonight's hobby DIY project back to Oklahoma, because there is a guy who I learned a lot from, Kent. I'm gonna look up his name because now I feel like a jerk for not knowing it off the top of my head, but he's from southern Oklahoma. I'm from northwest Oklahoma, and I think I'm probably going to be the one person who's going to be sanding their cast iron skillet in at least Manhattan for the past year. Maybe there's some hipsters in Brooklyn that are going to take on this new trend, because it's not a trend and I don't want to call it that, but you know, they're wearing Carhartt and orange hunting vests around, and I kind of giggle. But I do love my New York, but I am from Oklahoma. So with that being said, this is my second attempt at loving cast iron. I took a class for I don't even know why I did it, but it was an hour credit at Oklahoma State. And it was a cast iron cooking class, and it was amazing, and I had so much fun. So from there, I forgot basically everything. Then I was gifted my great-grandmother's cast iron Dutch oven and some skillets, and they didn't make it through some of the purges that living in New York City makes you purge. So I have repurchased this large set. It is a Dutch oven with a skillet top, and as you'll see, I have already sanded down some of the top. The bottom is not. It was pre-seasoned, but I tried to season it 2, if not 3 good times on both pieces, and you know, you forget to oil it one time, and then I came back and there was rust. And I don't know, I feel like because it's so inexpensive, I have to go through it and do the dirty work. And maybe, I don't know, maybe if I take it all the way back down, I feel like at least I will be responsible for whatever seasoning goes wrong, if seasoning goes wrong, and I won't be so heartbroken. So I don't know why, there's nothing to lose. Since I'm already getting rust after 3 seasonings, and I did it right. If I'm still getting that on both pieces, they're not great. I just want to give it a shot. And this cowboy from southwestern Oklahoma, he did a little quick video about how to take your pre-season lodge skillets down. With an 80 grit, and not saying that you have to take it all the way down. I don't have 80 grit. I think the biggest I have is 120. So I think I probably just did with 120. Tried to go up the sides, and I'm gonna do this again with 120, see where I get, and then maybe redo this one and go further. I don't know, I'm okay with all that. And there's some things I've picked up from other videos, so I'm gonna be trying to clean out the dust. As you can see, there's still dust. Clean that out with the help of magnets and then wire brushes. And I just did a quick, I need to try this immediately. So I'm gonna try to sand this out, and I'll give that on the video and then see where we are. And I'm sorry, this video is rough. I'm videotaping for my benefit, because somehow I want to watch all of my random projects that I get myself into. And I'll explain my next one coming up because I'm going to be painting one of my purses. But yeah, I do so many random projects, so sometimes they don't always work and I throw them away, but at least I can have a YouTube channel where I go through and like giggle about all of my attempts. So we're starting off and now I'm talking to the camera and it's awkward. Okay, moving on.
Okay, so I thought I had stiffer grit, but I don't. But I do have my orbital. I have 120. I think that's what I used on this one. So I'm just gonna try it out and see what I can do. There's still some salt in here. I've tried to wipe out all the grease because grease and heat's gonna just gunk. As for trying something I learned from YouTube videos, just magnets, in an effort to control just kind of dust. When I sanded this, there wasn't much dust, so although it was quite difficult to get it perfectly clean. I'm gonna be having fun time working on angles and stuff here. So here goes. No, when I plug it in, here goes. Okay, there we go.
Quick thought. Thankfully, COVID is probably helping me stay safe. At least I'll maybe get a little bit of protection. White sweater is smart. Okay, so just after that little bit, here's where we are with the 120 grit. I think maybe this must have been at least 80 because it didn't get anything on the center, but let's take a look. So, what do you think? Think it helps? That's where we are. It's not bad just for trying to knock down some of the rough edges from the pre-seasoning. I'm gonna see how much I can get off the side before having to switch my sander. Okay, so fingers crossed the video works and the audio works. Here we have me hitting the flame. I am trying to boil water to see if that will loosen up any of the bits of like leftover seasoning and iron that are kind of caught in the crevices, because I've tried wiping and wiping and wiping with a paper towel before, and you just always, no matter how many times you wipe, black still keeps coming up. And so part of the problem I was having with the Dutch oven before was that I would like boil something, braise something, and the liquid would cause the seasoning to kind of stir up. So I'm hoping that this kind of helps work in reverse, because I want the seasoning and all of that crud to kind of come up and form that layer. I know some people have like the issue of like, my food's turning gray and why is it always turning kind of like blackish on the top? And it's because of the liquid boiling so high and pulling some of the seasoning up. So I'm hoping to use that to my advantage. I'm hoping to use my disadvantages to my advantage. Okay, so I think I might have messed up. Cast iron, sorry, this is my lighter. If I lean on my stove, it lights up. The enemy of cast iron is water. And I basically just put boiling water on straight cast iron, thinking this mode of having the Nemesis help me. I'm probably going to go ahead and let this boil, do its thing. Who knows, maybe it'll help. And then when I see some kind of boiling, maybe I'll see a foam, maybe not. I'm then going to empty it out and then do a steel wool wipe out. But like soap doesn't have lye in it anymore. So I think that helps, one, and two, I'm still in the stripping process. So I think that whatever I'm doing now, it's still in the process of damaging and I can still fix it before I go into put my first layer of seasoning on. I really wanted to get my first layer on tonight, but I'm taking it low and slow. Okay, so I have a pre-warmed skillet. I've just cleaned it up, wiped it down, and it's still warm. I've got my little oven preheating, and this is a trick I learned from my Oklahoma cowboy once again. This flaxseed oil, I am too lazy to go all the way down to Whole Foods, which is in Tribeca, for 1 bottle of oil, and Italy didn't have it. So I can buy flaxseed oil in capsules and same thing, if not even higher quality. I'm seeing linoleic acid on it, oleic acid. Anyways, so we should just be able to puncture these, wipe it down for the seasoning, and then I'm gonna stick it into an oven that's already at a high temp because this is already preheated. Normally I would wait and if I hadn't just cleaned it and warmed it on the stovetop, I would wait and put it into an oven of 200 degrees for 20 minutes to get it preheated. But since we're already there, I am going to try this out. And lint-free towel as directed. It is clean. I've just been trying to deal with this cast iron for a while and trying to figure it out. So I'm gonna wipe it down. I really don't need or want to do the outside because I haven't really messed with that and it's not rusting. So whatever I get done here should be fine. Oh, but it's so dark. Guys. Oh my God, cast iron aficionados are gonna be screaming at me. Okay, so here we have the flaxseed oil on. It's good coating. It's also wiped down really well, which I believe is the first rule of seasoning, is apply your oil and then wipe down all of it. Ugh, this is so dirty. I don't trust it. I think I've already messed it up. We're gonna try anyways. What else could happen? We're just gonna have to resand it and start again. So this is gonna go into my oven at, I think it goes up to 450, but it's a really small oven, so it's pretty good about getting as hot as flaming possible. And then, yeah, we'll leave it in there for an hour, let it cool on its own behalf for another hour, and then maybe I can get some kind of a result tonight. We'll see. Okay. Okay, so I wanted to capture this. This is the Dutch oven part of it, not the lid skillet part. The water came up to almost a simmer. I could tell that there was like golden spots, aka what I assume is rust, forming in it. So I dumped the water, and as soon as I dumped the water, I sprayed just some touches of olive oil in it, so that when and while the water was evaporating, I had a chance to like kind of scrub off the rest with steel wool. So I took the steel wool with some oil in there, and it just, you know, just kind of got cloggy and blackish. But I've wiped this maybe 4 or 5 times. And I almost got all of the original olive oil out of it. As you can see, I'm still, my dirty hand. But I don't know if anyone else is running into this, or maybe it's just because I didn't take the pre-seasoning down more. Because, I mean, look at that towel. I don't know if you can tell, but that little corner bit is really silver, and the rest is still quite black. So I don't know how I feel about oils and fats being cooked into a carbon state, and then being then expelled into my food. It's one thing to have it at a carbon state and my food on top of it, with a layer of oil protecting it, but like if I'm wiping this and this black is still coming off, am I getting basically straight carcinogens in my food? I'm not one to shy away from, you know, a seared steak that would have these carbon issues, but I don't know. This is an experiment, and I am showing you my process. We will see. And if 5 people watch this video and 2 people start screaming in the comments, then we'll know I was totally wrong and I should go see an oncologist immediately. Hopefully not. I'm gonna keep wiping. I've got my oven preheating, so I'm gonna put these in just to preheat them, wipe out all the olive oil, and then preheat them in my smaller oven to about 250. Then I'll come back, wipe them with flaxseed, and then they'll both go in. This will be the second round of seasoning for this one, and then the first layer of seasoning for this one using the flax after the grinding. Okay, so the pan is definitely preheated, super hot. I am going to do the second coat of flax on this bad boy. Ooh. Oh, it smells bad. It smells like the silos at the farm. Like when we'd have to go in and sweep out all of the grain before, like, so we have these big silos that hold, I hope this, I'm gonna sound like an idiot if it's not silo, but these big, huge bins that are, you know, 6 stories tall and the size of, I don't know, maybe like a small 1-bedroom, maybe a studio on the ground, and we fill them up with grain that we harvest, and then we can sell it or use it or do whatever. So you have to be really careful when you sweep them out, because like one spark will make the entire thing explode, just because the dust from all of it gets really explosive. So fun fact from Farmer Girl as she's trying to figure out how to season her cast iron in the middle of New York City. I'm going to wipe out the inside one more time, because from everything I've heard, you do not want any extra oil that you don't want. I think that makes it sticky and gross. Okay, so the oven's back up to I think it's up at 500. I just put it as hot as it would go because now I'm using my bigger, smaller oven. It's still tiny. So I'm gonna put this one in and then get the actual Dutch oven. And that will be its first. Okay. So this is the first coat. I should have let you see the other. So, wipe, wipe, wipe. Now, I had a hard time again. See, look. You know, I boiled water or whatever thinking that it would help get this out. That can't be good.
Like, I did everything. I brushed it with steel wool, I wiped it, I washed it, I did everything, got it set with olive oil in it. Okay, so
How to do the whole YouTuber thing. If I'm gonna get food poisoning, can somebody tell me?
I had some like little water droplets. I don't know if they'll show. So I want to definitely give the outside a little bit stronger opposed to the other one. Because the other one seemed to do okay with the outside seasoning that I had on it when I first tried to do it before I sanded it all down. Ooh, look at this.
Oh, that can't be good. Can you see that? Shoot. Okay, we're gonna deal. I gotta put some more oil on it. So hopefully that works. And hopefully I didn't just seal in rust. I will eat away from the inside of the seasoning.
Can't be how it works. I don't think it is. Okay, so. Ugh, so gross. I'm gonna wipe down the inside one last time to get rid of any extra.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to do this update without burning myself. So we're on to the second round of, ugh, that's so nasty. So this has had 2 layers of seasoning. It's got some golden to it. I'm happy with it. So far so good. Not so happy. Kind of concerned. Do you see that? Have I burnt it? I mean, what have I done? Why does it not like me? I've read a bunch of places that you can kind of let them cool down to a little bit more manageable of a temperature and then do another coat and then throw them back in the oven so you don't have to let them go all the way down to room temp before you do another layer, which is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my chances with this. Yeah, I don't know if I burnt my seasoning, if I put too much oil on. Now's when it comes interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna do another thin coat and put them on, and that will be number 2 and number 3 for this one. Quick update before I put these in the oven. So I just wiped them both. I use only 2 capsules of the flaxseed oil. So I think that now that the first layer of seasoning has gone on, I'm gonna be using a lot less oil. Hopefully that wasn't the problem in this one. But also my rag is clean. I basically just used this part for it. So that's good. I either sealed in all that dust or something. Also, the spots did stay here with the vinegar. You can kind of see them. I think they'll be gone in a coat or two, a layer of seasoning or two. Okay, I keep thinking I'm gonna make it through a layer without having to do an update, but no. So we're on layer 4. This will be layer 4, but do you see that black dot in there? All of the other dots went away, but that is where I dropped a gel cap from the flaxseed and it melted onto there. So I think I might just kind of scrub it with some steel wool and try to take it down a layer and then, you know, just keep going. And then this is the pot. So we're on that was layer 3. I'm just totally losing track. I think we're okay with the burnt spot. I really don't know. Okay, so I think I am done for the day. I am probably just gonna follow Cowboy Kent, who I mentioned earlier, his advice, and I'm probably just gonna deep fry some chicken fried steak in here, or fry, not deep fry. But I think it's come out pretty good. I think that's the gelatin spot right up here of the vitamin casing. I just scraped it with a knife and coated it. I think we're okay. All in all, there's a golden haze over almost all of it. I'm not scared anymore, right? So if this is burnt in the middle of this deep one, I'm fine. I can go back in and I can sand it down and do another day of this. It really wasn't that much work. I'm gonna be doing it within the next couple of months though, because my apartment is so hot right now and it's already October. But I think maybe I made the right choice on not being too fussy about the sanding, because the pre-seasoning and the roughness that was on, it's Lodge, so the roughness along the top, I think maybe it will help it stay stronger. Like it'll help give it more grip versus me smoothing it all the way down, and maybe it would be a little bit more slick. I don't know. It's a thought. I wanted to say I got this also. I used it before whenever I was having issues with the pre-seasoning not doing great. And I also, this just came in the mail today actually. It has a removable handle, but on the skillet, it was almost like my fire was too small. So it was just scorching and it was so close up to my thing. I feel like it was almost burning the pre-seasoning off. So I just got one of these. I think it's stainless steel, but it should be able to at least kind of spread out the heat along the bottom. And I think that might also help me kind of like mock season it as I cook. Oh, and also I have to go check on them. Okay, I started watching this show while I was finishing up this last thing, and it's called Restoration Home Scottish Castle. And if you're a dork and interested in this kind of like old stuff or good stuff, it is so funny. It's so cool. They're finding like hidden homes or hidden rooms all inside this castle. It's amazing. They go through all the Scottish history of the earls and the ladies that used to live there. It's great, so I recommend that as well. I am excited. This is like my first in front of camera video, so if I don't cut this part out, thank you. I feel like a dork. I'm not trying to have 1 million subscribers, but this is just what I do all of the time. And instead of doing random stuff on my own, you guys might as well see it as well, and you can learn from my mistakes if it turns out that this was a mistake. So, thanks and bye. Meanwhile, my nephews are gonna find this in 10 years and laugh their asses off. Deserved.